Welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, a pilot into the universe of Chinese. Let's continue exploring contemporary Chinese. And today's expression is a fun one. It's a translation of Trader Joe's, the famous food chain store, a grocery store, Trader Joe's, to Chinese. And Chinese make it almost domesticated because we have uncle, 舅. And this 舅 specifically means your mother's brothers, which probably even closer to you because probably you you hang out a lot with your uncle. And this is talking about relationship to you. So your uncle, right? So your mother's most likely younger brothers, could be older as well. And 缺德 lack moral, almost like a bad boy uncle that everybody want to have fun to go out with, right? This is the kind of uncle everybody wants, and that's 缺德舅. And it's kind of a sound translation. Traitor is 缺德, not exactly, but 缺德. Chinese often teasingly, sometimes it's in a affectionate way to say somebody's 缺德, meaning literal translation as they lack morals, but sometimes it's just they're a little bit wild, weird, not following rules, but they're definitely not boring, right? And then Joe translated as 舅, kind of similar sound, but 舅 instantly bring that to your house member. And this is talking about a Chinese before, I guess, one child policy, the ancient Chinese household structure that is a big family. And you may, well, actually, if it is Jew, probably you don't live in the same household because once your mother married to another household, then the mother is going to stay with another household. Any case, Jew is an uncle. It's a fun to play with. And this is, I guess, a Chinese affectionate way to translate Trader Joe's. And because it's related to, if the translator even know the uncle, this 舅 concept, that's your mother's little brother or older brother, it's even related to food preparation. That's like even more connection to what Trader Joe's is about. It's about food preparation or prepared food. All right, so 缺, we have the faux symbol, which is a clay container, which is everyday household. So unless you're from the rich family that can afford porcelains, faux is for most household because it's clay made, readily available material, probably more rough surface, doesn't require high temperature processing, so it's cheaper, and it's a food container. The right side, though, okay, 绝, I mean something broken. I see a lot of Chinese scholars speculating what that is because it came from this water, almost like water flooding, breaking the water bank, and then the water start to go over spilling. And this, breaking or spilling, this concept is hard to explain there. But okay, I put in a little bit of my salt in there, so take it as you wish. Because I've done this for over 4 years now, really enjoyed this process, learned a ton. The right side here, 缺, made of 3-finger hand symbol, and your right foot symbol, your right foot, your right shoe, I think I should say that, because foot symbol is a different thing. This right shoe is expressed by the toes are facing forward, and this connected point, this corner, is the heel. And then the vertical line, to me, simply is the strap, either made of straw or made of leather, could be something to strap the shoes, put it together so that you have two decks, two horizontal lines connected, so that you have one, the lower deck facing the ground, and the top facing your food, your flesh. And you want that cushion to separate your foot from the ground. That's the function of the shoe, essentially. And this shoe, right shoe, and your right hand, three finger hand symbol, together, it means separation. It makes total sense because our foot and our hand, it's totally separated, spatially separated. And when we pair that with this container, that simply means something on that container is chipped off or broken even, various degree, right? So it's not in one piece, it's separated as if it's hand and foot. So eventually we use that separated, not complete, to represent missing, like the moon, when it's not a full moon. Any non-full moon, Chinese would use 缺 to describe that, means lacking, not in full form. And that's where 缺 came from. Okay, 德, we have number 10, this cross symbol. It's ancient roping technology. The vertical line is a rope. The horizontal line is an indicator to say there is a knot there, because knot on the rope is hardly visible to us. So Chinese made it obvious to tell you, okay, there's a knot there. And I guess ancient times when we count, record keeping something, for the most part, we can use our hand. 10 fingers is enough. Once it reached 10 fingers, we have to tie a knot on the rope to relatively make it permanent record keeping. Even if you untie the knot, you probably can still see some traces of it. So that's ancient time before, between neighbors or between transactions, you tie knots to note it's a number 10 there. And then we have the eyeball symbol. It's a horizontal eyeball. We have lots of verticalized eyeball, but in this case, it's 10 pairs of eyeball looking at the ground truth. So Chinese is a leftward facing culture. Spent me quite some time to realize it's leftward facing. And then both the top ground, the high ground, top left corner, and low ground, bottom left corner, is using the left side of the corner. And we use low ground here, simply means ground. 10 pair of eyeballs looking at the ground means you're examining the ground truth. And then the bottom here is the heart symbol, simply a pump with 3 tubes coming out of it. In tube, out tube, and the tube to feed the heart itself. That's a super simplification of how the heart anatomy is. Okay, the heart in Chinese also associated with emotional processing. And then the left side, 3 left foot symbols. Left foot produce the footstep symbols. Okay, so it's walking. Walking in Chinese symbolize practicing, symbolize doing by this obvious spatial movement to mean you're in action. And then the whole thing makes the sense of moral, because what moral to Chinese is a kind of integrity where you kind of de-bias by having 10 different pair of eyes looking at the ground truth. And your heart follow this, because I guess Chinese realize each one of us have our own position, our own perspective, our own limitation. We are not going to see the whole thing. It's always partial truth. So to avoid our own bias and injustice to other people, because we're self-centered, cannot help it, we use 10 pair of eyes. Therefore, we're fact-checking ourselves. We heartily follow that, practice that as well. So this heart, this knowing something, processing something intellectually, emotionally, with doing something, like physically doing something, together forms the concept of integrity. You're following the truth, and it's fair, unbiased truth. And then you practice that your mind, your body all come in together. You have the integrity. So that's the Chinese moral sense. Okay, 就 farm muscle. Okay, this box with quadrants in it is a Chinese farm field because Chinese have allotted land between different households. That's how Chinese express farm field. And then bottom is like a plow, and that symbolizes power, muscle power, because you have to power it with muscle power ancient times. And then the left side is the tool that Chinese use to husk, to de-shell the rice from, like take the brine or husk of the grains so that it's edible. So it's a food processing. That's how Trader Joe's choose 就 in particular. It's very appropriate. So there we go. 缺德就 is Trader Joe, affectionate way. Thank you for your time. See you another day.